Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We shall talk now about rationalizing spending as method of the whole world in order to boost economy. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Mustafa Reda, the economic expert. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Dr. Reda, could you tell us the definition of rationalizing the spending, whether for the countries or for the individuals?
Well, what we mean by rationalizing spending is spending for in a way that we avoid waste. I'll give you a very simple example. Here in Egypt, unfortunately, a lot of Egyptian citizens when they buy food and they eat food, you see, they get the food stuff on an excessive amount, and they put it all on the table, you see, and then unfortunately most of it is not used, you see, so the remaining are thrown in the waste paper baskets, and this is called waste. So by saying rationalization, we mean that we adjust our consumerism and according to our real needs. I'll tell you a very, very big important example. In certain Western countries, they do not sell fruits by kilos. For example, bananas, they sell it by each banana, you see. But they don't sell it by a bunch of bananas which will weigh 1 kilo. This is for one reason. Also, certain oranges, apples, and mangoes are sold in this way. You see, okay?
Yes.
Why do they do that? It's in order that since you buy what you need, actually, you're not going to eat more than one banana. You see, so if you are 2 persons or 3 persons, you're going to get 3 bananas, not 1 kilo, and then eat 3, and then the rest will be thrown in the waste paper basket. See, so rationalization means that we adjust our consumer according to our real needs.
Yes, sir. Dr. Reda, what about the case here in Egypt? How would that boost the economy in Egypt?
Certainly, it will, because if you rationalize your spending, that will have an effect on your savings. You will find yourself that you have, if you spend less money on consumer goods or on electricity or all other items you see that are consumable, that will give you a chance that you'll have a certain portion of your money aside that you can invest. If you're going to invest, certainly investors, normal people, you see, put the money in banks, and then the banks actually are going to recycle this money and reinvest it again to investors in order to boost the economy. So this will first increase the investment factor. Number 2, it will increase also the income of certain families, you see, because it's a safe part of what you have been spending. This will have an impact because you have an interest rate, you will get profit, and you can probably use this in rational spending.
Yes, Dr. Reda, how can we raise the awareness of the ordinary citizens regarding the rationalizing consumption, notably of our resources?
Well, this is a very important point because you see, unfortunately, here in Egypt, a lot of concepts here are based on tradition. You see. For example, it's not nice that if you invite people, you have a certain limit. You limit the food. You see, it gives they think that it will give an image that you're not generous or so. You see, so probably it will take some time because tradition really is a factor here. That is an element, a very important element that affects consumerism and affects rationalization.
Yes.
Same thing again with electricity. I find a lot of people, you see, using probably do not switch when you leave a room. They don't switch the electricity. You see, they keep the lights on. On the same thing. I found this in a lot of public places. a lot of people do not close the water taps properly. So you find drops of water going down, you see, and this is a waste, you see, because these drops, if you calculate them on a very big scale, they could consume liters of water, and we are having problems in water again, a shortage.
Yes.
So certainly, all these, you see, I think by the media, they can play an important role by explaining in a simple way. If we rationalize our spending, this will have a positive effect on the economy and on the economy of the citizen itself.
Yes. Dr. Reda, concerning the government institutions, how do you see the importance of rationalizing the governmental spending in all the government institutions?
This is very, very important, you see. And I think the government took severe steps in order to rationalize the spending. You see, by cutting down electricity in certain places which are not necessary. Sometimes also you find that the lights in the street are on in the morning. You see, this is ridiculous. So certainly there'll be a control on this again, and probably there'll be, as I mentioned, on water again. Probably, I think there'll be a certain inspection on the in order to minimize the waste of water. You see, in bathrooms or in public places where we have used water. Certainly, as I mentioned again, a lot of people do not take this very seriously, and they leave the taps, you see, and you find drops of water. All this, the control, certainly, this will be the role of the state to have an inspector in order to see that all these concepts are, the rationalization concepts are taken into consideration.
Yes. Doctor, what about the best success story of rationalizing spendings? What are the countries that we can benefit from that have a good experience in this field?
Probably Switzerland has a very good experience in rationalization, and they are ideal in this, you see. And this you'll find in a lot of places, you see. I'll give you an example again, that most of the people in the Swiss towns, you see, they use public transportation because it is easier and it's cheaper and it's quicker. So by using public transportation, certainly this will take place here when we have a network of metros here, which will connect Cairo itself, you see. So I think in this case, I assume, and I have asked a lot of people, they said, if we have a professional network, metro, underground network here in Egypt, we're going to use the underground instead. We're going to park our car near an underground station, and we're going to use the metro in order to circulate and finalize our business. This is part of rationalization, because certainly this is going to affect the environment also. You see, when you don't use your car, you don't the gases which are outlifted from the car are going to be reduced. Also, the traffic will be minimized. You see, you will not find delays on certain roads. You see,
yes.
So and again, you'll be spending less money on fuel and probably on maintenance of the car and all that. So all these factors combined certainly will have a positive impact.
Yes, Doctor, the whole world is heading towards rationalizing spendings. Would you, how would that help in boosting the global economy in face of the so many challenges that are facing the whole world, like the Ukrainian crisis, war with Russia, and also with the COVID-19 pandemic?
Certainly, a lot of countries certainly will be this is not an option. You see, they'll be forced, the citizens will be forced to rationalize their spending, because probably, I don't know if you saw this, that in a lot of countries, European and United States countries, they have made shortages of food products due to the fact that a lot of people rushed to the supermarkets and took all these foodstuffs and stored them. So certainly, and this created a shortage, and it certainly created panic. Yes. So in order not to avoid such a situation again, probably, I think that these countries will be in a position that they will, from themselves, they're going to rationalize their spending and their consumerism in order not to reach a crisis that happened, as you mentioned, due to the Ukrainian war, that we don't know how it's going to end and when it's going to end. And certainly its impact is very, very negative, as you see.
Yes, yes.
So certainly, again, it's very, very important that, but probably in Western countries, they are more aware about the dangers because they take positive action. They don't have these cultural dimensions that we have here, you see. So probably they'll be reacting in a positive manner quicker than us. And certainly we hope that we'll be following, and certainly there'll be a role in the media by putting ads, you see, on television, showing the benefits of rationalization and how it can rationalize. And if we don't rationalize what is going to happen to us, the dangers, you see, all this, if we highlighted all these points, certainly I am sure that we're going to reach to a good result.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Mustafa Reda, economic expert, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. I was in the company of my colleague, Mohammed Abdul Rahim. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.